I'm chill. Let's read the StarWars.com article. And this is coming straight from Star Wars, the horse's mouth. It's not a variety article. Taika Waititi, who recently won Jojo Rabbit, blah, 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 and Mandalorian, he will direct and co-write a new Star Wars feature film for theatrical release. Boom. Boom. Directing and co-writing, not producing. Kevin Feige, we know, will produce something. Perhaps he is producing that. Perhaps he's in charge of all of Star Wars. They just haven't announced it yet. So that's worth celebrating. We got someone competent. We got someone who's produced good Star Wars things in the past. A couple of episodes of Mandalorian, the first and the last, and maybe even one in between, if I'm not mistaken. But joining Waititi on the screenplay will be the Academy Award nominee, Krysty Wilson Cairns. She received a BAFTA award, blah, blah, blah. She's accomplished. Every time they mention someone's name, they'll tell you about their accomplishments. So, in addition, the Emmy-nominated writer Leslie Headland, currently developing a new, untitled series for Disney+. Wonderful. We're finally getting acknowledgement from Star Wars itself that this is happening. Now, one thing they didn't do is say it's female-centric, and that's a positive. Like, we don't... the way we handle it's unfair to females to lead with it's a female-centric thing, and that's all I know about it. That's not how you do it. If you want, that's just because it adds all the pressure on the female-centric part of it, and I don't think you should ever announce your project with the gender, male or female. It's so irrelevant whether it's good or not, but it leads to a conversation that I don't want to have, and so I like the way they did it here. But I also, by saying Krysty Wilson is gonna join Taika Waititi on the screenplay, you're basically saying, without really saying it, so this is kind of the right way to do it, you're basically saying there will be female representation in here. So I can see the agenda, the Kathleen Kennedy agenda, which, if you're new here, she does have that pro-women stuff, and it gets involved in her movie, like Admiral Akbar not being in charge instead of Admiral Holdo. But okay, I can see what she's trying to say. She's trying to say, and I believe this went through her, the StarWars.com announcement, that it will include Krysty Wilson, because you got to get that female. I'm so tired of the female stuff, but that's what I see it. Okay, I'm done talking about it. And then it announces that there's going to be a Mandalorian season 2. There's a Cassian and Andor life prior to Rogue One, and there's going to be an Obi-Wan series, meaning that Taika Waititi won't be doing any of those things. So it's completely new. It's going to be a film. Obi-Wan is going to be a Disney Plus series. This is the first time I've seen it acknowledged. I've only seen articles saying we changed our mind from movie to Disney Plus. Okay, this is the first time we know it won't be a film. It will be a Disney Plus, according to them, until they change their mind. Taika Waititi taking over a Star Wars film. I can think of Ragnarok, and I got to think of the Mandalorian episodes. This man is competent. This man knows what to do. He has respect of his peers. People will listen to him. People want to do a Taika Waititi film. How are you going to get Scarlett Johansson to do Jojo Rabbit unless Taika Waititi was the man? He's respected in the field, and he's 45 years old. He's a young guy. He can be producing movies for the next 20 years, and no one will say he's too old. He's lost his touch. No, he's there. This guy could be the man to lead the franchise into the future. Dave Filoni also is a name, and Jon Favreau is also a name. But the people that you're putting on top of these projects are names that I can get behind. Leslie Helen, unknown. She was Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant. They did not say that over here. But they hired her, and I guess we're rolling with that. Look, I'm not going to boycott the show that Leslie Headland does. If it's good, it's good. If it's Star Wars, it's Star Wars. But if it's something I'm not interested in, I'll give that first episode a look. And if it's not essential, I won't do it. I don't read the Star Wars comic books. I love Star Wars, but why read a comic book if I don't feel like it matters at all to this overall story? If she's doing something with Ahsoka Tano, I'm gonna watch every episode of that. If Taika Waititi, imagine if he does an Ahsoka Tano TV show or movies. Man, I want him to create a new character, actually. This is great news. It's coming off of the May the 4th episode of Clone Wars. This is good news. And it's good news sandwiched with the Leslie Headland news. I feel like by saying that, I'm admitting what Leslie Headland will do is going to be bad. I don't mean that. I mean that what will be receiving public vitriol or the most hated thing was the third name that they announced. First is Taika Waititi. Joining her is Krysty Wilson Cairns, and then Leslie Headland. So if you see how they buried it, that's just typical Star Wars. When they were announcing that Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, is coming to Disney Plus, they did a trailer last week and they said, you can now get the whole Skywalker saga on Disney Plus. Can you imagine? Imagine if they did that for their other franchises. You can get all of Toy Story now on Disney Plus. No, you're gonna say Toy Story 4 is available on Disney Plus now. It's not how that goes. It's burying the possible negative thing with with in the sense of the actual things everyone likes, just so that your like ratio and your dislike ratio won't be embarrassing. But that's all that they meant when they did that May the 4th trailer. Rise of Skywalker is coming to Disney Plus. All right, whoop-de-doo. It worked, and I feel like they had a lot of likes on that. Every time they mention Star Wars nowadays, they got to include the old stuff, which is a direction that I want to see them go in. I know that the theme parks are heavily the new Star Wars things, like post Disney. I mean, post Lucasfilm, post whatever it was called earlier. Was it called Fox? I don't think Fox owned them, but they had the 20th Century Fox drums right before the movies. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about things I don't know about. Maybe I should talk about things that I see here, like Taika Waititi taking over for Star Wars and making a film. That is positive news. Can you imagine if it's an Ahsoka thing? Ahsoka's the main character of Star Wars. She started in the Clone Wars, where the series starts chronologically. I know we haven't really gone before Episode 1 in anything canon, have we? There's like little myths and stuff about Darth so-and-so and Plagueis and all them guys. But Ahsoka, we followed her. She hasn't died in Clone Wars. She makes it to the Rebels. The final episode of Rebels, the rebellion has begun, and you see her with that cloak look like, where is she going? We're going to check out where she goes in Mandalorian, which is, I believe, 6 years after Return of the Jedi. Yeah, so it's 6 years after the original trilogy, maybe 7 now, but we get to see her a little bit older. She's probably going to make it to the new era of Star Wars. What do we call it? The Disney era? The Rey Palpatine era of Star Wars. She'll probably make it there, which contradicts how we heard her voice amongst all the dead Jedi when she's talking to Rey. She's not even a Jedi, but I'm all for contradicting the Disney trilogies because I can't watch any of them anymore if it upsets me that much. Even though I had the ability to see it, instead I didn't watch Rise of Skywalker. I mean, I'm on Disney Plus and I'm like, let me just got Clone Wars. I'm gonna check out Black Panther. I'm gonna check the things I like, and it would be really interesting. We'll never get the numbers, but if we found out that more people watched Clone Wars final episode than watched Rise of Skywalker, I think that one's easy. But I feel like, what if more people watched original trilogy films than Rise of Skywalker, which was finally available on Disney Plus, but more people wanted to reminisce and celebrate May the 4th by watching Phantom Menace, the 6 canon ones. They're not canon if I don't watch them. I'm Chillmonger. That's my opinion on Star Wars. F the new Star Wars. But anything before Rey Palpatine has been awesome.